You know what? We got a really horrific, sad story. I mean, when you hear about the subject and the nature of the subject, you're gonna think, yeah, it's pretty bad. But when you hear what happened afterward, you can be like, that's really messed up. Cop brutalized handcuffed black man before arresting onlookers. Mississippi trooper assaults a handcuffed black man. Yeah, and here's the thing. This cop brutalized and beat the crap out of this guy before he arrested him. Then he wanted people were started getting their phones and recording like that, and he threatened them and he arrested other people that were recording the situation. Let's get to the video, shall we?
Story: Mississippi trooper decides to physically assault a handcuffed black male, and then
this guy was already handcuffed.
To arrest individuals who are recording this assault. All right. There's a viral video from Macomb, Mississippi. It shows a Mississippi Highway Patrol officer beating a handcuffed suspect on the side of the road. Here's the first video.
This man just got through jumping on this man while he was in the car, y'all. Yeah, we looking at you choke the man. That's why you told us to stop. We looking at you choke the man. We gonna stay back, but we gonna record you. We gonna record you. We want to know why you was in that car. We want to know why you was in the car jumping on him. We want to know why you was in the car jumping on him. We want to know why you was in the car jumping on him. Just wait. Man, don't grab him. Hey, man, don't do that, bro. Hey, I got him on live. I got his ass on live. He got a handcuff, man. You said you ain't had no business jumping on him. Look at this, man. Look at this, y'all. Look at this. He got on handcuffs. He got on handcuffs. Yeah, bitch. We don't care. You need to be going.
Woo.
Very sad. I have more video and more egregious activity from the police.
Oh, yeah.
The individual they were assaulting, his name is Eugene Lewis.
Eugene Lewis
was in handcuffs.
Yeah.
Okay. And individuals standing by were recording. These were his brothers. There was a back and forth between law enforcement and the brothers. Here it is.
Oh.
Hey, you remember John Floyd? That's how John Floyd died right there. Hey, he got handcuffs on him. You was in the car jumping on him. You shut up. I don't shut up. We don't give a damn. You was just in the back seat beating him up. Man, take us to jail. We don't mind going to jail. But this ain't right. We just caught the state trooper in the back seat. He ran us off. He was in the back seat beating him up. You ain't been civilized. We ain't doing nothing. You done threw him down, now you gotta get up. Get in another man, break your wrist, man. The man trying to hunt you, bro. He gotta be the police, cause when he came, look at this. He kneed him, he kicking him, man.
The men who decided to stay a good man. They knew what they were sacrificing potentially by remaining there. The officer said, y'all going to jail. No criminal activity had taken place between those recording and the police. They stayed far back. And
here's the thing, too. Yeah, the cop says you're all going to jail. These gentlemen were doing absolutely nothing wrong. Not breaking no law. They were exercising the First Amendment of public photography. They were recording the brother getting thrown on the ground, and they were simply doing cop watching. A legal activity protected on the First Amendment. And they were on a public street on the road. Yeah, and they were well back. And a lot of times we had the rule, you want to be at least 15 feet away. They were more than 15 feet away. They were probably at least a good 25 to 30 feet away. And that cop tells you, you're all going to jail. You're getting arrested. Yeah, it's crazy.
Engaged in recording, which they are legally allowed to do
it's protecting the First
in the
Amendment.
state of Mississippi. According to the men, they actually caught this particular Mississippi state trooper beating up their brother in the back seat of the vehicle. and they decided to start recording. They wanted to know why. Why was this happening? Why were they engaged in this kind of criminal activity? The officer then proceeds to tell them, you better leave, basically. You better leave, because if you're here when the cops show up, you're going to jail. He wanted them to be gone. He wanted them to exit the area. He wanted them to shut up about what they saw. They said, we're okay with going to jail. We're okay. We're not going anywhere. We don't care if the cops are coming. We're going to wait on them. The scene continues with a white bystander taking the side of the officer before the officer starts to approach the brothers. Here it is.
But you asked him, you said, what you need me to help you
He's a
do?
police officer, bro.
So,
I don't know him, and you don't. Y'all.
Call him. He jumping on our brother. If somebody jumping on you,
I'm just standing here.
it's
bro.
our
I ain't
brother.
fucking done nothing.
If somebody,
Well,
he ain't asked you to leave now time.
yelling at me.
He ain't asked you to leave. You. He ain't asked you to leave now time. Go ahead. We still got you. For what? So we don't care. Jail for what?
Sir, I'm gonna tell you
For what? For what? For what? We ain't did nothing. For what? We ain't did nothing. For what? For recording you. For recording you?
Yes, sir.
So you going to jail?
I tell you right now, y'all still here when these other folks get here. Y'all
We waiting on the police. We gonna show these videos.
I ain't fight till y'all want
Man, we ain't, this ain't, don't act like we trying to jump on you. We record what you doing. We record what you doing. All we doing record what you doing.
You going first.
We waiting on them.
Don't get in that car. Don't get in that car.
For what? I ain't getting in no cop.
Put the phone down.
I ain't getting in no cop.
I'll let you know. Turn around. Put your hand on your head.
Man, I ain't getting in no cop. Put your hand on your head. Put your hand on your head. Just put your hand on your head, Mo. Just put your hand on your head.
This is so damn sad.
It is. It's really fucked up.
They are engaged in legal behavior.
Exactly. Then what really pisses me off is you got that fucking dude, a white dude says there, oh, they're the police. They know what they're doing. Yeah, because you know why? That motherfucker is a fucking bootlicker. Yeah, he's a fucking cop-sucker, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, he's one of those motherfuckers fucking the thin blue line flag all the fucking flyer in his house like that. Saying, oh, we need to shut the fuck up and just back the blue. Fuck that shit. Fuck the police. Fuck the police. Yeah. Happy fuck the cops say. Come and get some, bitches. Come and get some. That's what I mean, like, I say, hey, guess what, officers? Happy fuck the cops day. Fuck the police. Come and get some, bitches. Yeah, fuck you.
Recording a public official.
They were doing nothing wrong. They were breaking the law.
100% legal.
Legal. Protected on the First Amendment.
These cops wanted to put them in their place. A white male bystander starts to interfere, and he's not told to get back in his car. The white male bystander is not told to be quiet. He's escalating things. The white male bystander is not told, listen, you need to stop because this is not making things better. He was allowed to walk freely, to proceed
then
to
he
go
was
up and
charged
down
with
the street
police. They
freely
know what they're doing.
with
Yeah, he's a fucking blue
no
line thin. He's a
rebuttal.
blue line
Law
bootlicker.
enforcement.
He sucks out the cops. Wop,
I
wop,
have
wop,
more.
wop, wop.
Once again, let's put up the picture of the man they assaulted, Mr. Eugene Lewis.
Now through August 31st at your local Toyota service center.
Okay? Eugene told WJTV he didn't know what would have happened to had his brother, Packer, not Facebook live stream the incident. He said the officer first pulled him over for allegedly doing 35 in a 30.
Wow.
I can't never let this go, he said. I ain't did nothing to him. I know this same white guy would do another black guy like that. The video runs a little more than 5 minutes. Packer and Darius Lewis, Eugene's brothers, can be heard in the background narrating the officer's actions and exchanging words from time to time. From the video, the two stay back away from the officer and their brother, but they refuse to budge, right? They stay far enough away not to interfere with the investigation, which is the criminal dynamic. They stay far away. No criminal act has taken place. All three brothers were arrested. Let's put up a picture of Packer Lewis. Packer Lewis, the man you're looking at, took to Facebook following his release from jail. In a post, he said, quote, "We don't need officers here to protect and serve like this trooper. I stayed in jail for a couple of days for absolutely nothing. Sad, but it's the world we live in. Mayor Lockley confirmed the incident involved a Mississippi Highway Patrol officer. Put up a picture of the mayor.
Here we go.
Now, according to the mayor, because this incident involved a state employee, he is letting the state handle the investigation. Cop out, Mayor Lockley, because you have what's called concurrent jurisdiction for your investigative authorities to also investigate what happened in your city. Because the people who elected you and the people you appointed to enforce the law, they have jurisdiction here to investigate what happened. But you are copping out. Although outside of his jurisdiction, he wanted assurances it would be investigated. He said, quote, "This is alarming that something like this would happen within the city limits of Macomb. And remember, once again, because it happened within the city limits, he has concurrent jurisdiction to launch an investigation. He is choosing not to. So while the narrative is outside of his jurisdiction by way of employment, the employment is outside of his jurisdiction, but the activity of the cop is not. Colonel Randy Ginn, director of the Mississippi Highway Patrol, has put up his picture. So old Colonel Ginn here, who's also the assistant commissioner of the Mississippi Department of Public Safety, oversees the Bureau of Investigation. Both the Internal Affairs and the Mississippi Bureau of Investigations are investigating the incident. The assaulting officer remains unidentified intentionally by law enforcement. Now, I want you to remember the white male bystander who just got out of his car, decided to get himself involved, and received absolutely no rebuttal from law enforcement. You see, white men in particular, they feel empowered to come against black males, especially if they are in a conflict with law enforcement. Not to stay out of it, not to be thoughtful about their engagement, but to literally come after black people as if it is open season on black men who may have an engagement or encounter with law enforcement. Let me show you a video of a civilian who decides to kneel on the back of a man who's already pinned down by the police.
All right. Good change. This is some police bootlicking. Are you ready?
What do you think this attitude comes from? What do you think this sentiment comes from? It comes from this notion that somehow white men and police departments are basically empowered to be antithetical to black lives. What other excuse is there? What other reasoning? What other conclusion can you come to? All right. This happened at the Broadway Lafayette Street stop. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I mean, this really speaks to something that's really important. So I'll contextualize this with data. In Tennessee, Mississippi, and Alabama, somewhere between 8 and 10% of the entire voting age population, is denied the right to vote due to felony voting laws and current incarceration. That is not a mistake. When people think of southern states, they often think of a lot of racists. But what we really need to think of is the brutal repression of black folks in those states and the explicit aim from the government to enact an extreme amount of violence and disenfranchise people from the political process entirely.
Jesus, yeah. I couldn't believe it. I'd never seen that video. Yeah. You had a white civilian trying to knee on or something like that. Yeah. You know what that guy flies at his home? Yeah, a thin blue line flag. He don't fly an American flag. He thought it's a thin blue line flag. Yeah. I think it's so funny. I just find it astonishing as well. You get these motherfucking white dudes think that they're so privileged out there. They think they're pro cop, anti Black Lives Matter, or anti this and that. Because they're lefty fucking liberals. Anyways, another case of Happy Fight the Cops Day. Come and get some fucking piggies. Peeky, oink, oink at 3 o'clock. Anyway, I'm out here, Mike Job. Peace out.